Today, I want to talk about something I really don't talk about very often: fear. Uh, it's not because I think I have all of the answers, but it's because I have a feeling that I'm not the only person who's around my age out there who's carrying around some fears with them. Um, and I thought maybe that if I said them out loud, that I could take away some of their power. So here I am. Oh gosh, this is Coffee Chaos and Grace. I'm Cheryl, and you know, for me right now, I'm gonna just start talking about some of those things that I am in fear of right now. The biggest thing I'm in fear of is just being afraid of the unknown, right? And I try to have faith, and I honestly keep a positive attitude most of the time, but it's a little bit scary. Right now, I've been looking for a new job at 63. Yes. And that's scary. Just kind of wondering what's next. Will things work out like I really hope they will? I do have things moving in a great direction right now, but it's not a done deal yet. So that's a little bit scary. Am I making the right decisions? So it's interesting because the older I get, the less I like uncertainty. I still don't know exactly what comes next in my life. And so that's a fear, right? I used to be one of those people that somebody would say, "Hey, let's go to Vegas," and I go, "Yeah," and I jump in the car and we drive, and we wouldn't even have a hotel reservation. We would just go, and we'd get there and we'd look for some place that had a vacancy. I was that kind of person, and it's scary to now be a little bit more afraid of not knowing what's happening next, about wanting to be maybe a little more planned in my life. So, and maybe that leads me into the next thing that's a fear for me. And that is, I have a fear of wasting time. At 30, it just seemed like there was so much time in front of you, just plenty of time, right? And at 63, time feels more valuable. I mean, I want right now just to make the most of my life. I don't want to just drift through the years. I want to embrace what's happening in all of the time that's here. So I just want to be intentional with whatever time I have. And that's new, but it's definitely based in a fear of just wasting time and not, I don't want to look back and go, what if I would have, right? So that's there. Um, I'm afraid of losing connections. I have, relationships with people that I knew in high school. And, Facebook's been awesome for that. That's people of a certain age, right? That's been really good. I feel like I am keeping up with them. But just like we talked about the other day about social media, I don't know really what's happening with them in their lives. Just like they don't really know what's happening with me and mine because of what we choose to put out there. But I am afraid about losing connections with my kids. Your children grow up, relationships change, and loneliness can creep in there. And so I just am finding that connections are mattering more to me than ever they did before. And it's not that they didn't matter before. I think it's just that now I just see the value in my relationships, and I just want to let my friends, my family know that my relationship with them is super important, and so that's there. There's certain things though that I'm learning about fear as I'm getting older, and I think that maybe that's something that I can share with you. I'm finding out that fear doesn't mean that there's something wrong. I'm finding that fear often shows up when something matters. I mean, you don't have a fear when you don't really care about what's going on or what's happening with a certain situation. There's no fear in that. But when it means something to you, that's when a fear can kick in. I'm also finding that just like starting a YouTube channel, there was a fear in that. Now I'm just kind of rolling with it and enjoying my time with the new people that I'm meeting, and that's so cool, right? Why was I afraid to begin with? And of course, that's the case with a lot of fears that we have. I'm finding though that fear motivates, and I'm also finding that courage is not the absence of fear. It's like continuing beyond the fear, right? I have a fear of something and I just plow right through it to get to the other side. That's courage. And that's what I'm hoping to develop at this point, right? Is just developing that courage to move past the fear. Just punch it and move through. The truth is, I'm still afraid of some things. But I've learned that fear and hope can exist at the same time. And I don't have to completely eliminate fear before I move forward. I've had my children say to me, they have a fear of getting married or a fear of having children. And I say to them, you are never going to be 100% ready. So don't feel like that's ever going to happen. You're going to keep putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. No, you just have to plow through that fear of not being ready and do it. Okay. So do any of you have fears that you're dealing with right now? Has any of this resonated with you? I would sure love it if you would comment below. Join our Facebook group. Check out the description. There's a link to our Facebook group there. But I would love to know what helps you in moving through fear. Like, what helps you to keep going anyway, even though you have a fear? That would be awesome if you'd share that. Again, we are trying to develop a community here of people that can support each other, that are here as a community of people, to be a support and to help people understand that we are not alone in this, man. We are all going through many of the same kinds of emotions and the same kinds of situations, and we are not alone. And together, we can handle anything. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate you. If you're new, welcome, welcome. And if you have been with me for a while, oh my gosh, I appreciate you so, so much. Again, thanks again for being with me. And until tomorrow, give yourself some grace today. Have a good one. Bye.